The Dalish prisoners escaped safely?
We got them away free and clear.
Good. Whatever my frustrations with them, it feels good to have helped my people again. Thank you for allowing me to help. Chance to infuriate Elganon was a reminder of simpler times.
You said you found the Dalish frustrating. Why is that?
It is unfair to them. I lived for thousands of years, and after I imprisoned the Evanuris, I slept for thousands more. I awoke in a world that had forgotten the ancient times almost entirely. And those who tried to remember Elven history, like the Dalish, had gotten so much wrong.
I suspect them calling Elganon and Gillenane and all the rest gods didn't go over well with you.
Indeed. To see that the history the Dalish worked so hard to preserve was the propaganda of tyrants was vexing. I tried to explain the truth to one clan. When I convinced them that I was truly Fen'Harel, they attacked me. After that, I hid my explanations behind the facade of having witnessed events in the Fade.
And one of the first lessons in the Mornwatch is that the Fade is reality as seen through a smoky mirror.
Yes. The Dalish had no reason to believe me. I could only watch as they continued to worship Elganon, though we may have seen the last of that tradition, at least.
You and Elganon were really tearing into one another back there.
I needed to goad him to anger in order to distract him.
Mm-hmm.
But yes, while all of the Evanuris were monsters in their own ways, Elganon was the worst. Or perhaps it is more honest to say that his were the faults I found most objectionable. You have met him now, heard his voice hammering at the doors of your mind, and you have met me. Can you see how he and I might frustrate one another?
He uses his power to crush any opposition.
Yes. He is far more powerful than I am, and he wields that power like a graceless bludgeon. When I defeat an enemy, it is because I outsmarted them, because I was right. When he does, it is only because he was stronger.
Outsmarting someone and being right aren't exactly the same thing.
Aren't they?
All right. I can see how you and Elganon would hate each other.
He has always been what I most feared becoming. Callous and uncaring, his arrogance unchecked. To have that much power and no one to remind him that he could be wrong.
Well, he had you.
And I suppose I had you.
I'll have to take your word for that.
When we first met, I saw you only as a foolishly confident child who disrupted my plans. You were an irritant. I gave you information to oppose Elganon out of necessity, but I expected you to be nothing more than a tool. Seeing you with your team, I was wrong.
Yeah, you were.
A mistake I shall endeavor not to repeat. Your team trusts you, and you listen to them. It is impressive and enviable. You work together with a camaraderie it took me centuries to build in my rebellion.
So what do we do next?
Elganon and Gillenane are preparing the dagger they will use for their ritual to pierce the veil. Elganon's power is tied to light and darkness. He will need to perform a ritual during the next eclipse.
That gives us some time to prepare.
It is likely to be your last chance to do so. You must be ready for whatever comes, for this world and for the team that trusts you. I know that you will do everything in your power not to fail them.
So now Elganon's recovered his own archdemon, and the gods only need an eclipse to complete their dagger.
We saved the Dalish, though. That's important.
But now Elganon's immortal, so long as his archdemon lives.
And we all know how hard those things are to kill.
We killed Razikale, didn't we?
After losing hundreds of wardens. and it took a centuries-old trap to do it. We don't have either of those. Not anymore.
Just when you think the tide's in your favor, it turns right back.
The odds on this were never good. But we've already beaten them once. We have a job to finish. And 2 gods to kill. We don't get to wallow and whine. Because no one else is taking this fight.
Nice speech, Rook. But it's hard to complete a contract if you don't know where the target is.
We found the gods before,
Not without help, we didn't.
so we get help again. We've got allies everywhere now.
Did the Veil Jumpers find any traces of where Elganon and his archdemon went?
No. Venatori started swarming the area right after we left, and they had to leave.
The crows may have something. The Antam are moving large quantities of supplies out of the city. Weapons, armor, gatlock, and food. About half our remaining provisions.
I don't understand why you're bringing so many books.
Well, I don't see what your objections are to my taking a canopy.
We're only going for 2 days.
You've hardly brought more than a flask and a bedroll.
I'm surprised she took the bedroll. I've seen her sleep on roots.
I don't sleep on roots. I sleep amidst the roots. If you do it right, it's like being cradled. A tree hug. Emmerich wants to see more of Ferelden, so we're going camping. But he's treating it like we're going to an academic thing.
An expedition can have its earthly comforts.
You want to bring a shaving kit in the woods.
My dear Harding, a gentleman is never without a brush and a razor.
The whole point of going to the wilds is to get away from all that. So what if you get muddy and smell a little bad?
One can enjoy the scenery while remembering to bathe.
Harding, do you need to be so stringent when you're camping?
Yes, because you have to carry all the gear yourself. Up the mountain, across the creeks and things.
Don't you carry any luxuries yourself?
I bring my writing kit.
Aha!
Fine. Maybe your umbrella could come in handy.
I really have looked forward to you showing me more of your home, Harding.
Me too. Oh, and I'll make us sandwiches.
Ah, your famous ham and jam slam?
Well, yam and jam slam because you don't eat meat. So I'll use yams.
How thoughtful. Thank you, Harding.
Hey, good. I wanted to ask you something. My mother and I have a weekly dinner thing. I was gonna meet her in Ravane. Wanna come? Fresh food. And I wanted to know you're good to work with.
Sure. What are you doing?
The wisps are drawn to something around here. The boxes are baited with notes, baubles, things they steal.
Maybe they're drawn to you.
They've been seen here when I'm not. There's more to it.
Doesn't seem all that important. Why are you doing this?
So I'll know.
Uh-huh. Riveting case we've got here.
I follow the leads I've got. What? You don't like a good stakeout?
Maybe. If it comes with a story.
You got something in mind?
All right, best stakeout. Go.
I once spent 9 days in a cramped attic keeping tabs on a suspect. He was posing as an Orlesian street mime.
That's your best stakeout.
You know, his show wasn't half bad. Plus, the attic was over a bakery. Best pie in Voldormer.
Can wisps measure up?
Got something.
We're that good.
Empty.
We're still good. Davrin. Doing some renovations?
Building a trophy cabinet. The figures I'm carving.
You could just take a shelf from somewhere else in the lighthouse.
Come on. There's no fun in that. Like to see Tosh put together a collection like this.
Don't tell them that. We'll be knee-deep in dragon corpses. Maybe you could carve the rest of us.
Maybe. It might be good to carve the people still around, once this is all over.
Some new disaster is probably already round the corner.
Now there's the truth.
I'll see you around.
Harding, is it true you can control rocks now?
Control? That's funny. I'm still trying not to drop things on my own feet. And I still don't know why this happened.
Best not to question it yet.
Is it though? A gift?
You saved someone's life.
I know. I just wonder what's next.
Busker's disappearing from Docktown. Why? Something to look into.
What were we talking about? Best not to question it yet.
Is it though? A gift?
Those missing buskers performed here. Let's see what we can find. These meetings can't be good for business. I'm here, Inquisitor. It isn't just Inquisitor, is it? You were someone before that.
Clan Llewellyn. We try to be no one you've heard of. Morrigan is holding a perimeter. We're alone. Tell me what Solus did at Elganon's ritual.
Sounds like you already know.
I need to hear it from you.
We were up against an archdemon and he reached out to help. Seemingly.
You're not sure about his motives?
Could be genuine. Could be self-interest. It'd have been screwed too if we didn't make it.
He's never clear, but he's always thinking about where it ends. How many of his names do you know? God of Lies, Dreadwolf, Fen'Harel. They're titles he earned from enemies, followers, and fractured history. He and I shared another name. Vanan.
Elven for heart.
For my heart. You've spoken to him in your dreams. You felt the power of that mind. His love could burn against me like a bonfire. He seemed so kind, and wise, and sad, and looked at me as if I somehow mattered more than anything around us. For a time, I thought I would have followed anywhere he asked me to.
Guess that changed when he decided to tear down the Veil and destroy the world.
Did he ever really decide it, though?
Well, he was doing the ritual.
Yes. A ritual we would never have known about, had he not saved my life and told me what he planned to do. He warned me not to follow him, and then he left enough hints for us to do so.
Hold on. You think he wanted you to stop him?
His name is Solus. It means pride. Perhaps he couldn't change his mind himself and hoped that someone else could help him. Or maybe I'm the prideful one, imagining his broken heart so that I never have to face my folly. That I loved someone who made such grave mistakes, that I might love him still.
You almost sound like you're ready to join him in that prison in the Fade.
To give up the world for him? No. We've got to save it first. But after? If there were a way? If he felt the same? If I could leave the world behind and just have him? I don't know.
One thing I've learned in this job is that the people I need the most are people who can tell me when I'm wrong.
We all need that sometimes.
It sounds like that's what you were for Solus. If the two of you were better people together, and you were happy too.
I was.
This is all hypothetical anyway. He's trapped in the Fade with no way out.
He's surprised us before. But enough about me. Tell me about embarrassing Elganon in front of all his cultists.
Anton do whatever they want. They used comic on civilians. On your own people.
And how precisely would you have suggested I stop them?
Call on the crows? Ask for our help?
So you can murder a few Anton here
About seeing Venatori and Crow meeting spots.
Useful to know.
Let's dig around some more.
I long for the day crows learn to think more than 2 steps ahead.
I can't believe you're defending them.
I am not defending anyone, Jacobus.
You're letting them be a part of this? My cousin died because the governor didn't stop the Antam from...
Jacobus.
No. I'm not going to stand around and listen to this. I'll see you later.
Well, now that that unpleasantness is dealt with, about your mysterious informant.
Whoever they are, they know the Antam and Treviso.
Your message made it sound like this informant also knows where the gods are staging their ritual.
Treviso does not need this troublemaker. This should be left to proper officials.
It very much concerns Rook. We have a contact who offers access to the Butcher and privileged information on the gods.
A chance to find your gods and to free the city. A prize for both our causes.
The contact. They aren't a crow. Can we trust them?
It isn't a crow, but they know the city and the Antam.
How do you know it's for real?
They gave us patrol patterns. Dreadnought arrivals. Their information is real.
And you didn't share this with me?
The bookkeepers can bookkeep when the meeting is done.
When and where do we meet?
They'll be in the market.
And they asked for me. Not you or Viago.
You helped this city, and you're helping all of Thedas. You've earned respect.
We just don't know from whom.
Hypothetically, what if I'm walking into an ambush?
I would prepare for one.
Not everything is an adder in the wardrobe.
I said to prepare. I didn't say not to go.
What about the human help the Anton was getting? You have any leads on that?
We continue what you started. The other Talons are turning over every stone.
You trust them? Not even your first Talon is safe from your infighting.
We are all Antivan crows.
And yet those of us sworn to Treviso are beneath you.
There's really no clue who it is.
They're foolish enough to think crows are reliable. That's a clue about their worth.
They promise help.
So do you when you're not killing each other. Treviso deserves better.
It's getting the best.
That has yet to be proven.
I'll talk with this mystery contact.
And the rest of us will hope not to get caught in your crossfire again.
We fight for everyone. And the chance to strike at the gods and the Antam? It's worth the risk. Good luck, Rook. See what this mysterious informant can give us. The meeting is in the market, Rook.
They implied you can't miss them.
Try not to damage anything.
An unknown contact? Doesn't this feel like a trap?
We're fighting gods with the crows. I'm curious who would try to trap us. If our informant actually knows where Elganon and Gillenane are performing their next ritual, it's worth the risk.
Anyway, where was I?
Best not to question it yet.
Is it though? A gift?
You saved someone's life.
I know. I just wonder what's next.
The Antam make demands, friends.
I'm glad the market's still open during occupation. It probably helps to feel that some things are still the same.
Feels crowded like a city always does.
Okay. Iago and Taya said our informant is somewhere in the market. Let's find them. I just hope their supposed information about the gods
Rook, I presume.
The Butcher.
There's no need for that. Treviso is the trap, not this meeting. Please. So tense. I promise, I'll signal when it's time to fight.
Strange way to ambush someone.
I don't have to ambush anyone. You think I couldn't just march on the crows? Scattered Antam flock to me. I have the soldiers to raise your casino and every inch of this city.
But I'll bet there's no profit in actually winning.
There's money being made by the occupation. But not by me. I said Treviso was the trap, and I meant it. The jewel of Antiva. She sings even while caged. Such purity in every stone. It's trapped my heart. I love this city.
You expect me to believe the Butcher of Treviso?
I butcher lying cattle. They don't deserve what they have. You know there are traitors here. They ransom their own city. Literal gods stalk the land, but these filth worship their own purses. But you're different. You and the crows stay true to your roles. It means something when you die, and even more when you kill. You're as much a work of art as this city. And you want a secret from me.
You're not an end-of-the-world type. Are you with the gods or not?
The gods, they give strength. But all they ask in return is everything. I can feel their corruption. I can hear their whispers. They're calling for a ritual. If I give in, I'll know where you need to go. But I will lose my jewel. My city! So... You live in a casino. Let us make a game of this. I will become what the gods want. Welcome their whispers. Meet me and show me if the crows deserve my city.
The Butcher was our contact, and he's letting himself fall to the plate. Finish them off. We need to go after the Butcher.
On to you.
Wants us to prove we're worthy of saving Treviso. That's what's happening.
By giving in to the gods' corruption?
Everyone's acting like normal. Like the Butcher hasn't gone nuts.
Who's going to believe that? I don't.
Save it to keep your head down, I guess.
I see what you mean. Prove you deserve it.
Hear the shift in his voice? He's changing.
My Treviso will not abandon you to the traitors who gave you to me.
There's the Butcher. He's a Reaver and fighting his own Antam.
That thing's a monster. How can it tell us anything about the gods?
We have to hope he's still in there.
Assis-toi! Par là, si Watch me fight and win this thing! So beautiful, but not like Treviso. You saved Jewel!
There's nothing left of it.
I see Tearstone Island! The ritual! Tearstone Island!
Ready again.
He's gone. And he named the ritual site. Tearstone Island.
The Butcher didn't lie, if that's worth anything.
If I could have killed him without giving him what he wanted, I would have. At least he gave us what we came for, though.
Yes, truly the Butcher was a paragon of honor and virtue, and we are all devastated to see him go.
Eventually.
And now you have a location for your final pointless confrontation. The gods are at Tearstone Island. Isn't that what you wanted? A chance to die a hero's death? So go. Leave Treviso to those who deserve it.
The Butcher did warn us about a traitor. Didn't get a chance to name them, though. Thanks for confirming that for us, Eventually.
Given how much that man talked, I'm shocked he actually kept his mouth shut.
You sold Treviso out to the Antam.
I did what was best for Treviso. Who else would have done what was necessary? That troop of fools in the casino? They would have provoked the Antam to slaughter, the kind they carried out in every other Antivan city they crossed. I gave them the crows, so they would not take the rest of the city. I gave them an inch, so they would not take a mile.
The Antam took their mile, and anything else they damned well pleased. And they'll keep doing it. Because you'll keep letting them. You didn't prevent a slaughter, you just postponed it.
If you hadn't killed the Butcher!
Someone else would have. He decided he wasn't their pawn anymore. The gods would have killed him. And then you would be ruled by someone much, much worse.
You should have been a politician, Rook. Instead of, well, whatever it is you are besides an annoyance. But this city is mine. We need a real leader. You know who else wants a leader? The Antam. And if someone plays the role they want, they are very accepting. They also understand that bringing order to Treviso requires the purging of disruptive elements that cause nothing but chaos. So go to Tearstone Island. Have your little showdown with the gods, fight your pointless battle, and leave the city to me.
It makes sense now. Every decision they made shows it.
The other officials, of course, know nothing.
Of course. I'm surprised they even remember the governor's name.
I take it you heard? The Butcher's dead.
And in his place is the traitor we knew was lurking. And the Antam fell in line?
Eventually is apparently playing the role they want.
The governor has given them a clear purpose. They were more cunning than I thought.
Something always bothered me about Evenchi.
Many things bothered me about Evenchi, yet I did not spot the most important one.
This wasn't a failure. You gave us the name we needed.
The hand that leashed Treviso. The butcher was the mouth, but the hand was Evenchi all along. They think they have the power in the Antam, and a network doing their will.
But we have the face of our enemy.
Evenchi will be hiding, so we will hound their Antam and make them desperate.
When the governors show themselves again, we end this.
When Evenchi left, they made it sound like they were planning something.
I suspect it will be about restoring order as they see it, and that the crows will be first on their list.
Whatever the good governor's intent, we'll end it.
Evenchi keeps talking about restoring order and rebuilding Treviso. But what then?
I believe the good governor's plan was to risk the city to try and claim the nation. If the Antam beheaded the crows, who would merchant princes hire? Who would invaders fear?
As if the Antam would fill that role. This was a bookkeeper's angry grab at power.
You're not concerned the gods will send the Antam more support?
The gods might come for us, but they're coming for everyone. I believe you are crafting the answer to that, and we will help as we can.
We'll stop Evenchi.
The gods. Did you learn where they will be?
Tearstone Island. Evenchi confirmed it before they left.
We know the time to face Elgar'nan and Gillenane approaches, but it will not take us long to find Evenchi.
You have been our ally through all this. It would be an honor to have your help against the governor again.
We'll let you know when we'll make our move. And after that, Treviso will be free.